There are phrases a man speaks that don't just enter a woman's ears, they enter her body. Not because they're seductive, not because they sound romantic, but because they awaken a feeling inside her that she cannot switch off, a feeling she hides from her partner, denies to herself, and pretends she doesn't feel. Yet it pulls her toward you with a force she can't control. Most men try to attract women by chasing, joking, or performing. And every time they do, they lose the one thing that creates real desire: mystery, discipline, and emotional power. But a different kind of man exists. A man who can trigger a woman's curiosity with a single sentence. A man whose presence speaks louder than other men's effort. A man who doesn't need to impress her, because his energy already does. And when this man speaks certain phrases, subtle, forbidden, effortless, a woman feels something she didn't expect: admiration, attraction, and a deep desire to be seen by him. Today, you're going to learn those phrases. Not tricks, not lines, but psychological triggers women respond to instinctively, even the committed ones, even the loyal ones, even the ones who swear they're not attracted to anyone else. If you're ready to understand the secret language of desire and become the man she chases without you lifting a finger, then stay with me. Because once you hear these 5 forbidden phrases, you'll never speak to women the same way again, and they'll never forget the way you made them feel. Most men try to understand women through logic. They listen to her words, analyze her behavior, and assume that attraction is something she decides. But female desire is not created in the mind. It is created in the body, in the instinctive, pre-verbal layers of her emotional system. What awakens desire in a woman is not reason, not morality, and not the checklist she tells her friends she wants. It is a biological spark that bypasses her logic entirely. A woman can love her partner deeply and still feel an involuntary pull toward another man. She can believe she's stable, responsible, disciplined, yet become emotionally unbalanced from a single moment of presence, energy, or a sentence that hits her in the right emotional frequency. This isn't betrayal. It's biology. It's instinct. It's the hidden dimension of female desire that most men never learn to read, let alone influence. To understand this, picture her emotional system as a sensitive instrument, constantly scanning the environment, not for looks, not for words, but for energy, masculine energy. Her body reacts to tension, confidence, unpredictability, and emotional freedom long before her mind has time to judge whether it's right or wrong. She doesn't choose to be drawn in. She responds, and that response comes from a place older than thought, older than culture, older than her relationship status. It is the instinct of a woman sensing a man who carries himself differently. A woman's attraction begins with motion, a shift she feels internally, not a conclusion she reaches logically. When she encounters a man whose presence is calm but not passive, confident but not loud, curious but not needy, something ancient awakens in her. She feels herself instinctively adjusting, paying attention, becoming alert. Not because he's trying to impress her, but because his energy enters the room with a quiet, unmistakable weight. Most men talk their way out of attraction. They perform. They over-compliment. They try to prove they are worthy. And in doing so, they send a signal of emotional emptiness, the kind of energy a woman's instinct immediately categorizes as predictable and replaceable. But the man who does not chase, who does not rush, who does not try to win her approval, carries a magnetic presence she cannot ignore. He is not there to be chosen. He is there to see her, and that shifts the dynamic entirely. Her desire awakens not because of what he says, but because of what she feels in his presence. When a man is grounded, her nervous system relaxes. When a man is selective, her curiosity rises. When a man does not need her validation, something inside her stirs fascination, interest, a quiet hunger for the feeling he brings. She may suppress it. She may ignore it. She may pretend she doesn't feel it. But her body knows the truth before her mind ever catches up. This is why a woman in a committed relationship can still be drawn to another man. Not because she wants to leave what she has, but because one part of her instinct, reacts to the energy she is not receiving from her partner. Stability does not eliminate desire. Comfort does not create excitement. Predictability does not trigger attraction. Her biology craves emotional aliveness, contrast, subtle tension. And if you embody that presence, she feels it instantly. She feels the difference between being talked to and being understood, between being noticed and being seen. A man who carries himself with disciplined calmness creates an emotional contrast her partner often cannot provide. Not because he is better, but because he is different. His energy reminds her of something she thought was fading inside herself. A spark, a pulse, a sense of being a woman desired not for what she gives, but for who she is in her rawest form. This is why her body reacts before her mind understands. This is why she becomes emotionally confused. This is why one phrase spoken with the right masculine groundedness can create a ripple in her entire emotional system. Attraction is not verbal. It is vibrational. A woman does not fall for words. She falls for what she feels between the words. Your steadiness, your non-reactiveness, your subtle challenge, your emotional independence. These qualities activate the deeper part of her psychology, the part that wakes up when she senses a man who cannot be controlled, predicted, or owned. This is the essence of the forbidden phrases. They work not because they are clever, but because they carry the energy of a man who is not seeking approval, a man who is not trying to win her, a man who is centered in himself. When such a man speaks, she feels something rare, safety mixed with intrigue, calm mixed with excitement, respect mixed with desire. Her mind may not understand it, her logic may resist it, but her body feels it intensely, undeniably, instinctively. And that is where desire begins. Most men think attraction is about being charming, funny, impressive, or expressive. But for women, desire rarely starts from admiration. It starts from contrast. A woman doesn't feel drawn to a man simply because he is good or kind. She feels drawn when her emotional world is shaken by a presence that stands out from everything she already knows. Desire awakens the moment she senses a difference, a contrast that disrupts her expectations. Think about her daily emotional environment. Most men she encounters throughout the day, colleagues, acquaintances, online strangers, even her partner, fall into the same predictable pattern: reactive, emotionally porous, seeking approval, explaining too much, trying too hard. Their energy is light, scattered, inconsistent, even when they mean well. They behave from a place of hidden insecurity: too available, too talkative, too eager to please. And then, suddenly, a different type of energy enters her world. A man who doesn't rush. A man who doesn't stumble over himself to say the perfect thing. A man who listens more than he speaks. A man whose posture is relaxed, whose breathing is slow, whose eyes stay steady. A man who moves through space with deliberate calm, as if nothing outside of him can shake his inner center. Her body reacts instantly, not because he is loud, but because he is still. Not because he demands attention, but because he doesn't need it. Not because he tries to impress, but because he is already enough within himself. This is the emotional contrast that ignites feminine desire. Women are biologically tuned to feel micro-shifts in masculine energy. They pick up tone, pace, tension, micro-expressions, and emotional presence with extraordinary sensitivity. She might not consciously analyze it, but she feels when a man's presence carries depth. She feels when a man is self-controlled instead of reactive, grounded instead of anxious, selective instead of needy. It's the same primitive instinct that once helped women determine which man was safe to trust and which man could destabilize her emotionally or physically. Modern society changed the environment, but the instincts remain untouched. That's why a woman sitting across from you can feel a spark without understanding why. That's why she can feel a sudden warmth in her chest, a tension in her stomach, or a flutter in her breath when you speak slowly and intentionally. Her body recognizes contrast faster than her mind can interpret it. And this is where most men fail, not because they lack attractiveness, but because they lack contrast. They blend in. They act predictable. Their energy is the same as every other man. Nothing in their presence disrupts her emotional rhythm. But the man who carries controlled masculine intensity can create a shift with almost no effort. A silent pause before speaking, a slow exhale, a relaxed posture, a calm as he listens, a steady gaze that doesn't waver. These subtle signals communicate volumes. She feels something deep inside her, a just curiosity, alertness, emotional awakening. She wonders why she feels suddenly aware of you, why her breath changed, why her mind can't settle. She starts imagining, anticipating, filling in the spaces you leave open. This is the power of emotional contrast. Your calm presence exposes the chaos inside her. Your groundedness makes her feel more feminine. Your stillness amplifies her movement. Your control intensifies her desire. And here's the part men never realize. A woman doesn't desire the man who understands her emotions. She desires the man whose presence makes her feel her emotions more intensely. A man who is too expressive, too available, too verbally enthusiastic loses his power, not because enthusiasm is wrong, but because it kills contrast. It collapses the tension she instinctively craves. Emotional tension, that invisible field between you and her, is the oxygen of feminine desire. Remove the tension. Remove the desire. This is why the forbidden phrases work so powerfully. Not because of the words, but because of who you are when you speak them. When you say, "I'm not here to change your mind. I just want to understand you," what hits her is not the sentence itself, but the emotional contrast behind it. You're not arguing. You're not convincing. You're not demanding. You're offering calm presence in a world full of male chaos. When you say, "I like the way you think," "I didn't expect that," you create a subtle shock in her internal system because you're not complimenting her beauty. You're appreciating something deeper, something she isn't used to being seen for. When you say, "I'm not trying to impress you, I'm trying to get to know you," you reverse the emotional dynamic, and women feel the shift instantly. All forbidden phrases work because of this one psychological principle. Contrast awakens desire more than charm ever will. When your presence feels different, everything you speak becomes amplified. Your calmness makes her heart race. Your confidence makes her relax. Your emotional discipline makes her feel something she thought she had outgrown. She cannot ignore contrast. She cannot explain it away. She cannot suppress the instinctive feminine response to masculine stability. And that is why, before you speak any forbidden phrase, you must first become the contrast. Because once you do, she will feel your words before she hears them. "I'm not here to change your mind. I just want to understand you." Most men have no idea how powerful this line truly is. They think attraction happens because of charm, humor, or perfect timing. But a woman's desire doesn't awaken through logic or explanations. It awakens the moment she feels emotionally safe in a man's presence, safe to speak, safe to be herself, safe to let her guard down. That is why this phrase cuts directly into her instinct. When you look at her with calm, steady energy and say, "I'm not here to change your mind. I just want to understand you," her entire nervous system reacts before she even forms a thought. Her shoulders loosen. Her breath changes. Her emotional defenses, the ones she uses with almost every man, begin to dissolve. Because you just told her, without saying it directly, "I'm not trying to win anything. I'm not trying to control your thoughts. I don't need your approval. I'm here because I choose to be Lord, not because I'm chasing you." To a woman, that kind of presence feels rare. It feels different. It feels like meeting a man who cannot be moved by her reactions, yet is still deeply attentive. And women crave that contrast. Most men do the opposite. They debate her. They try to fix her feelings. They rush to prove themselves. They talk too much and listen too little. Every one of those behaviors makes her close emotionally. But this phrase does the exact reverse. It tells her, "I'm not here to pull you toward me. I'm here to see who you really are." And that is when she lets you in. Because here's the hidden truth. A woman desires the man she feels safe opening up to, not the man who convinces her, pressures her, or performs for her. Picture this moment. She's talking about something that bothers her: stress at work, a misunderstanding, something personal. Most men immediately interrupt with advice or try to sound smart. But you wait. You let her finish. You let silence settle for a moment. Then, in a calm tone, you say, "I'm not here to change your mind about anything. I just want to understand you." Watch her reaction closely. Her eyes soften. Her breathing deepens. She leans in, just a little. Not because of the words, but because of the energy behind them. You're not chasing. You're not proving. You're not trying to impress. You're simply present, grounded, centered, unaffected. That presence feels masculine. That understanding feels intimate. And that combination creates a subtle emotional pull she cannot explain. The magic lies in sincerity. If you say this line with tension, insecurity, or hope of getting something in return, she will sense it instantly. But if you say it with genuine curiosity and emotional steadiness, it becomes irresistible. Because what you're really communicating is this: I'm not afraid of your emotions. I'm not threatened by your thoughts. And I don't need you to agree with me for me to stay centered. Women feel this kind of emotional independence immediately. And once she feels it, her mind shifts. Her guard opens. Her desire begins to rise, slowly, quietly, naturally. This is why the phrase is forbidden. It bypasses her logic and speaks directly to her instinct, the part of her that longs for a man who listens without expectation, who understands without trying to fix, who sees her without trying to possess her. It's subtle, it's calm, and it works every time because it makes her feel something she doesn't get from most men: freedom. Freedom to speak. Freedom to feel. Freedom to let her feminine guard drop in the presence of a man who remains unfazed, grounded, and deeply attentive. And when a woman feels that kind of emotional freedom with you, desire is never far behind. I like the way you think. I didn't expect that. Most men try to impress a woman by noticing what every other man notices: her beauty, her smile, her body, her style. They compliment what is obvious. But a woman is not moved by what is obvious. She is moved by what feels rare. And nothing feels rarer to a woman than a man who sees her mind. That's why this phrase hits deeper than any compliment about her looks. I like the way you think. I didn't expect that. It tells her three things simultaneously. First, you're paying attention. Not to her curves, not to her makeup, but to the way her mind works, the part of her she secretly wishes more men understood. Second, she surprised you. And for a woman, surprising a man she finds intriguing creates a powerful emotional spark. Third, you are not easily impressed. Your praise isn't cheap. It's selective. It's meaningful. And that makes it valuable. This is where true intellectual attraction begins. Most men debate her. Most men correct her. Most men listen only to respond. But you listen to see her. When she shares an opinion, even a small one, you give her space to express it fully. You don't interrupt. You don't rush. You let her reveal herself. Then you look at her with calm interest and say, in a steady tone, I like the way you think. I didn't expect that. Watch what happens next. Her eyes search yours for meaning. Her posture shifts. She becomes more expressive, more open, more feminine. Why? Because you just activated something inside her most men never touch, her desire to be understood not just as a woman, but as a mind. A woman doesn't feel deeply desired when a man tells her she's beautiful. She feels desired when she realizes she can move something inside him, not with her appearance, but with her thoughts. This phrase gives her that rare feeling. It tells her, you affected me. You changed something in my internal world, even if just a little. And that is irresistible to her. Because here's the deeper truth most men don't know. A woman's physical desire is heavily connected to her intellectual pride. Make her mind glow, and her body follows. Make her feel rare, and she begins to want you. Make her feel seen beyond the surface, and she cannot replace you. Let's imagine a moment. You and her are talking casually, maybe about work, life, music, something simple. She says something honest, something real, something unexpected. You pause. You let the silence breathe. You let her feel your attention. Then you say gently, I like the way you think. I didn't expect that. In that instant, she feels two sensations at once. Validation, because you saw depth in her. Curiosity, because she doesn't fully understand why she wants to keep talking to you now. The tension rises quietly. She leans in emotionally. Even if she doesn't move physically, her mind begins searching for more ways to surprise you, impress you, reach you. And that is exactly where attraction starts, not with flirting, not with compliments, but with curiosity paired with emotional safety. But here's the key. You must deliver this phrase calmly, without excitement, without trying to score points. If your tone is grounded, if your eyes stay steady, if your presence stays light yet intentional, she feels it as truth, not tactic. And when she feels it, something inside her shifts. She starts imagining conversations with you. She starts replaying the moment. She wonders what else you'll notice about her. She wants to hear more from you, and more importantly, she wants you to hear more from her. This is the moment her desire stops being passive and becomes active. Because now she's not just enjoying your presence, she's trying to earn more of it. That is the quiet, elegant power behind, I like the way you think. I didn't expect that. It makes her feel seen, it makes her feel understood, and it makes her feel desirable in a way almost no man can make her feel. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to get to know you. There is a moment in every interaction with a woman where the balance of power shifts. Not through dominance, not through seduction, but through something far more subtle. Non-neediness. Most men don't realize how deeply a woman can sense a man's intentions. She can feel when he's trying too hard. She can feel when he wants her approval. She can feel when he's performing instead of being himself. And the moment she feels that, attraction drops. But when you look at her with calm, grounded eyes, when your voice stays steady and unhurried, when you simply say, I'm not trying to impress you, I'm trying to get to know you, everything inside her changes. Because this phrase communicates three powerful messages without you ever explaining them. 1. You don't need her approval. Most men subconsciously apply for acceptance. They try to prove their worth, like they're interviewing for a position in her life. But when you say this phrase, you flip the script completely. You are no longer the man seeking validation. You are the man choosing whether she fits into your world. That emotional shift is magnetic. It puts you in a category she rarely encounters. A man who wants connection, not permission. 2. You see her as a person, not a prize. Women are tired of being impressed, chased, or wooed with effort that feels performative. This phrase tells her, I'm here because I'm curious about who you are, not because I need you to like me. It removes pressure. It removes expectation. It removes the invisible weight of romantic performance. And when pressure disappears, desire has room to grow. 3. You communicate masculine composure. Confidence isn't loud. It isn't flashy. It isn't charismatic in a forced way. Confidence is the ability to remain centered in your own energy, even when she's beautiful, even when she's interesting, even when she's exactly your type. This phrase delivers that message effortlessly. You're calm, you're stable, you're not chasing anything, and that stillness draws her in. Now imagine this moment. You're talking with her. She playfully teases you, tests you, or tries to get a reaction the way women often do when they want to see your composure. Most men would respond nervously, overcorrect, or try to be charming, but you don't. You take a small pause, let the air settle, and then say with a relaxed half-smile, look, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to get to know you. You'll see it immediately, the shift in her eyes. Her guard lowers. Her feminine energy rises. She becomes more curious, not about what you think of her, but about why you're not affected like other men. Because in that moment, you communicate something powerful. You are not performing. You are not proving. You are not chasing. You are choosing. And a woman feels when a man chooses her from abundance instead of need. Here's the deeper psychological truth. A woman becomes more attracted to the man she cannot fully predict, she cannot fully impress, and she cannot fully understand. This phrase creates that dynamic instantly. It tells her, you don't control my emotional state. I'm not here to win you. I'm here to see who you are. And that subtle independence is intoxicating, because she's used to men who try too hard. She's used to men who crowd her with attention. She's used to men who crumble emotionally when she doesn't respond perfectly. But a man who genuinely means, I'm not trying to impress you, is a man who lives on his own frequency. A man who doesn't bend. A man who doesn't chase. A man who doesn't lose himself in a woman's attention. This is the energy that makes her lean forward emotionally, mentally, physically, without you doing anything extra. And here is the paradox. The moment you stop trying to impress her is the moment she becomes impressed. The moment you stop trying to win her is the moment she wants to win you. The moment you stop chasing is the moment she starts wondering how to keep your attention. That is the quiet power of this phrase. Use it with calm energy. Use it with sincerity. Use it with the presence of a man who stands firmly in his own world, and watch how quickly the dynamic transforms. There are two phrases that activate a woman's desire in a way she cannot explain. Not because they are romantic, not because they are flirty, but because they create an emotional contrast she rarely feels with men. Most men communicate from a place of wanting something: approval, affection, attention, reassurance. But these two phrases flip that dynamic entirely. They place you in the position of a man who stands firmly in himself, calm, confident, unmoved. And that stability creates a gravitational pull she can't resist. Let's begin with the first one. Forbidden phrase, #4. You don't have to pretend with me. When a woman hears this from a grounded man, something inside her unlocks. Because every day, she navigates a world where she feels she must perform, act polite, act composed, act agreeable, act fine even when she isn't. But when you look at her calmly and say, "You don't have to pretend with me," her entire emotional system shifts. She feels seen not as a role, not as a mask, but as a human. She feels understood without having to explain. She feels safe without having to hide. And safety is the foundation of all feminine desire. This phrase works because it gives her permission to relax. It removes pressure from the interaction. It creates intimacy without touching her. It lets her see you as someone she can open up to emotionally. Most men try to win her through effort. You win her through presence. And presence is silent power. When you say this phrase, she doesn't hear words. She feels your steadiness, your calmness, your solid masculine energy. She senses that you're the type of man who can handle real emotions, not the surface-level performances she gives the world. And that makes her desire you on a deeper level. Because desire isn't born from excitement. Desire is born from emotional safety combined with masculine depth. You don't have to pretend with me, tells her, I see you. I'm not fooled by appearances. And you're safe to be real around me. Very few men can create that space, which is exactly why the men who do become unforgettable. Forbidden phrase, #5, take your time. I'm not going anywhere. This phrase isn't about patience. It's about strength. A woman's attraction dissolves when a man rushes her, when he pushes, when he pressures, when he tries to speed up intimacy. That urgency reveals insecurity. So when you say, take your time, I'm not going anywhere, you communicate something extremely rare. A man who is not in a hurry. A man who is not desperate. A man who is not driven by impulse or fear. You show her that you are steady, that you lead with clarity, not with neediness. This phrase tells her, I am confident in myself. I am not attached to outcomes. I do not chase, I choose. And that emotional independence is magnetic. Women desire men who are centered, men who remain calm even when attraction is building, men who don't lose themselves the moment they feel chemistry. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere. It is slow, deep masculine reassurance, not the needy reassurance most men offer. It allows her to open up at her own pace, to trust her own feelings, to feel safe, stepping closer to lower her guard without pressure, to deepen the connection because she wants to, not because she's pushed, This is the kind of masculine presence that makes a woman melt internally. It whispers, "I don't need you, but I'm here. And because I'm here, you don't need to run." That balance, stability without attachment, is the exact emotional formula that makes a woman desire a man long-term. You're not pushing her. You're not chasing her. You're not proving anything. You're simply allowing her to step into the connection instead of dragging her toward it. And that is precisely why she will follow. Not because you force the attraction, but because you create an emotional space where desire grows naturally. Forbidden phrase #4 unlocks her vulnerability. Forbidden phrase #5 anchors her safety. Together, they generate a level of emotional intimacy that bypasses logic and hits her instinct. This is the moment she begins to see you differently. Not as a man, but as the man. This is the last phrase, the one that separates ordinary men from men who become unforgettable. Because most men don't realize this, a woman doesn't fall for the man who pressures her. She falls for the man who gives her freedom while staying deeply rooted in his own strength. Most men respond to tension with neediness. They get nervous. They try to steer her emotions. They try to convince her, reassure her, or win her. But when you look at her calmly and say, "I'm good with whatever feels right for you," you shift the entire emotional dynamic in one moving. You send a message more powerful than flirting, more seductive than compliments, and more disarming than charm. You tell her, "I don't need to control you. I don't need to chase your approval. I don't need to force anything." And that confidence quietly wakes up the feminine instinct inside her. Why this phrase hits deeper than any compliment. A woman lives in a world where men constantly try to influence her decisions. "Let's do this. You should feel that. I want you to choose me. Don't talk to him. Do you like me? Are we okay?" Men pressure. Men insist. Men try to speed things up. So when she meets a man who says, "Whatever feels right for you, I'm good with that," it shocks her system. Because this phrase carries three energies she rarely experiences from men. 1. Freedom. You're letting her choose without fear. 2. Stability. You're showing that your world doesn't collapse based on her reaction. 3. Confidence. You're demonstrating that you don't fear losing her. These three elements combined create an emotional effect she cannot shut off. Desire plus curiosity plus respect. It tells her you're a man who doesn't cling, doesn't panic, doesn't chase, doesn't crumble under uncertainty, doesn't rely on her for emotional direction. That's the kind of man a woman pursues. This phrase makes her drop her resistance. Every woman has a psychological guard, a shield she uses to protect herself from men who want too much too soon. But when you say, "I'm good with whatever feels right for you," you remove pressure so completely that her resistance collapses on its own. You're not stepping forward. You're not stepping back. You're simply holding your ground steady, clear, grounded. And the moment she realizes you won't pressure her, something powerful happens. Her desire rises on its own, because feminine interest grows in freedom, not in force. When she feels she can choose you freely, she will choose you more intensely. This phrase also signals emotional abundance. When you say this line, your subtext is, "I like you, but I don't need you. I enjoy you, but I'm not chasing validation. I'm with you, but I'm still centered in my life. Women are wildly attracted to that, because a man who isn't hungry for her attention is the man who becomes magnetic. He gives off the energy of someone who has options, purpose, and direction. Someone who is complete with or without her. Someone she can trust because he isn't emotionally chaotic. That's why this phrase is forbidden. It reveals a level of masculine maturity most women know is rare. How it makes her feel in the moment when she hears, "I'm good with whatever feels right for you." Her body relaxes. Her mind softens. Her emotional guard lowers. Her curiosity increases. Her desire awakens. And beneath it all, she feels something deeper. This man is safe. Not safe as in boring. Safe as in he won't judge her. He won't force her. He won't collapse under pressure. He won't lose himself trying to please her. He won't twist his identity to get her attention. This phrase makes her feel emotionally stable around you. And when a woman feels stable around a man, desire becomes effortless. But here's the final secret. This phrase only works when your energy matches the words. Calm tone, steady eyes, relaxed posture, no tension, no hidden agenda, no neediness underneath. If you say it while hoping she picks you, it loses power. If you say it while trying to impress her, it collapses. If you say it while fearing rejection, she will feel the insecurity. But when you say it from a place of genuine inner strength, she hears, "I choose you, but I don't chase you. I want you, but I won't force you. I'm here, but I'm whole." This is the difference between manipulation and mastery. This is the moment she steps toward you, not because you asked, but because she feels pulled. At this point, you understand something most men never learn their entire lives. Attraction isn't created by trying harder. It's created by becoming harder to shake. It's not about memorizing phrases or performing tricks. It's about embodying a presence that makes a woman feel something she can't explain and can't ignore. Scarcity, calm confidence, emotional independence, a steady energy that expects nothing, yet commands everything. When you speak from that place, every phrase becomes a signal that you're not here to impress, you're here to exist in your truth. And that truth is what makes you magnetic. Remember this, a woman doesn't desire the loudest man, the funniest man, or the most impressive man. She desires the man who moves through the world with intention, the man whose presence feels rare, the man who offers freedom instead of pressure, and depth instead of chaos. That man can be you, but only if you choose to step fully into the version of yourself who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, and doesn't collapse when faced with uncertainty. If this video shifted your perspective, if something inside you woke up, even a little, then I invite you to lock in this mindset. Like this video so YouTube knows you want more content like this. Subscribe to join thousands of men who are building themselves from the inside out. And comment below, "I build presence, not pressure." Your voice matters. Your story matters. And the man you are becoming will change the way the world responds to you, including the women in it. Stay disciplined, stay grounded, and, above all, stay unshakable.